Well, hey everybody, Kaye here on the homestead. We're just getting down the road, as they say. You know, like I said in my last video, life goes on and we have responsibilities and we got to get on with things. So there were a few things that I hadn't gotten a chance to share before the tragedy of losing Tiger. So there is a honeybee. Come here, come here, come here, come here, right here. There is a honeybee on my camera. Come here. Come on. Come here. Oh. It is literally on the lens. Okay, so what I do on my channel, if you're new here, if you're brand new here, you're catching me kind of at a low point because I lost one of my beloved cats this week. Today is, I want to say today is Thursday. And she got run over on Monday. And Tuesday she was buried up here. And yesterday I uploaded a video about that day after she got killed. Like I said, if you're new here, you may not know my cat story. I said I was never going to have another pet after Lyndon died, because Lyndon has been with me 18 and a half years. And I adopted her and her sister from a feral cat who got pregnant down at my raw market, and she had 4 kittens. And the guy running the market gave them all away, and I said, I just thought, well, it's so much better if you take 2, then they have company, so you don't have to constantly be sitting there playing with them and entertaining them and all that. So I got, and I hadn't had a cat in something like 16 years. So Walker was 15 and Will was 10 when I got the 2 of them, and I said Lyndon would be Walker's cat and, you know, kind of in name only, his responsibility, and Lightning would be Will's responsibility. And they had a hard start. They were covered in fleas, and I was trying to do everything natural and you know, shampooing them with flea soap, mild flea soap, whatever. It was a nightmare. It started out very, very difficult. It was very difficult. And I finally got them healthy and looking great, and I said, let me go down and show them off to this man. And I opened the box. It was a pet carrier, but they were both in there, because 2 little kittens, you know. And he reached in and got Lightning and put her on his shoulder, and she scratched him, and he let go. And she just went over his back and down, ran right out into the street, and immediately got run over right in front of my eyes. So I was distraught. I had an audition actually for Alias, which I guess people now I've already forgotten about, but it was like a hit show. Jennifer Garner played the lead on Alias. She was married to Ben Affleck at the time. She got pregnant with one of their children, so she was going to have a planned absence, and so they brought in a character to kind of fill in her shoes and I was playing the mother of her in one show. Since she was going to be on the show for a lot of episodes, I was hoping I was going to get a few episodes. That didn't happen, but at least I got the one. And I did get a picture with Jennifer Garner and the stars of the show. But now it's been so long, people don't remember, but that was 2005. And right after Lightning got run over, I like I said, I was a wreck for days. And I had this audition. And in the audition, I had to be instantly very emotional. So you wonder, well, how can actors tap into that emotion right when they say roll camera, you know? Well, in this case, I mean, usually you just have to create that from your technique and your ability and talent. And this day, though, it was right here in my throat anyway because of this cat getting killed. And I literally sat in the street and watched. Gosh, why am I talking about this? This is so sad. But anyway, I went in and did this audition, and I had the emotion, and of course I had the look. They wouldn't have brought me in if I hadn't had the look. If I kind of looked like this woman, she could be my daughter. So I got that job, and that was awesome. Could have been more awesome. Several shows, because when you work union, every job pays residuals, and it goes into your pension, and so it makes your pension have a larger amount. And so, but that didn't happen. Anyway, that's why I remember so specifically when that happened, because I know I worked on Alias in 2005. I also worked on Gilmore Girls twice, 2 shows in 2005. And most people remember that show because, you know, they've had so many reiterations or new iterations of that show. That whole huge monster squash vine is gone. By the way, the monster squash is, well, the genus, I'm not sure, but there are different kinds of squash, and many of the summer squashes and everything, they have a hollow stem, and that's where the squash bug gets in and goes right down. It's just like a freeway, and then it can really destroy like zucchini or summer squash plant like that. But the cucurbit, C-U-C-U-V-I-T-A, cucurbita moschata, M-O-S-C-H-A-T-A, I believe, has a solid stem. So no highway, no tube to go, you know, for the bugs to go straight down. And that's what that is. So I knew that. And that includes butternut, calabaza, and some other ones. And so I just think that this is a calabaza on steroids or something. Because it has the same shape. They didn't turn tan, but perhaps they would have if they had laid there long enough, I don't know. And right there is where I got my volunteer butternut. I got 10 volunteer butternuts. So at least I know, you know, kind of what it is. I don't know real specifically what it is. There are other, I think the tromboncino is also in the moschata family. So that's most likely what it is. And so then yesterday I said, I've got to get these leaves up because it's supposed to rain. I thought it was going to rain today. It's going to rain tonight, supposedly. We are in such a drought here. And it's just incredible. It's rained like one day, and it was just like little rain, little sprinkling, in 2 or 3 months. It's crazy for Tennessee. And so I knew I had to get the Birdhouse Gourds out of the field before it rained, because you don't want them to mold and lay in wet. I didn't want to make 2 trips yesterday. Whoa. Can I make it up this hill? I just wanted to make 1 trip. Oh gosh, these are all the Birdhouse Gourds. A lot of them have these black spots, which I suppose can be sanded off once they dry. I'll find out. Okay, I made it. Now I just have to get them on the porch. Okay. Phew, they're up here on the porch. My dump trailer for my 4-wheeler is full of crushed leaves. I didn't want to have to put all that somewhere, because I want to put that on top of the raised beds. By the way, the update on the raised beds is that people didn't show up, and I got nothing going on. I was kind of glad they didn't show up because I wasn't feeling well, and by the way, I'm feeling better. But I wasn't feeling well that day, and then 2 days later, Tiger, and then he comes, and it was a big operation to get everything power washed. And so, honestly, I'm just being honest. I said to myself, after my cat got hit, and no one came up here to ask if it was my cat, or to let me know that it was a cat, or I just thought, while the house is clean, while everything's clean, just put the house on the market and go. The thought went through my mind, I gotta tell you. I've done a lot of stuff here, but still the gardens need so much work. All the raised beds have to be rebuilt, except one. And the whole tomato terraces, I still don't have a greenhouse. There's just so much that I'd like to do if there was plenty of money and all that. And finding good help, that's available. I mean, good people are working. They don't have time for these little projects. I was just reminded of and I'm sure she's dead, so I can tell this story. But when I first came to LA, I rented an apartment down in there's a bunch of Spanish duplexes. They were all built, I don't actually know, but they were old. The landlady her name was Sally Kronovit. I'll never forget that. Hold that thought. Here comes the mailman. I'm so appreciative of the people who deliver the mail. They're so nice. And they work so hard. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're not using their own vehicle. Hey, how you doing today?
Good. Where do you want this cat litter?
Oh, you said the heartbreaking word. By the back door if you can manage. It's a 38-pound bag of cat litter. He's struggling. Can you imagine? I can't lift it at all. But it's he opened the door.
They're starting to put them out there, electric vehicles for post office.
Well, that's crazy because there's not enough electric grid to charge everything.
No, right.
It's a whole big lie.
It is.
But if people would just stop and think for a second, well, wait a minute, the electricity has to come from somewhere.
Still has to come.
Duh. coming from batteries.
That kind that charge itself, that makes sense. You know?
Exactly.
But if you see these guys in the charging station, then you got to sit there for an hour, 2 hours.
Exactly.
Stupid.
Exactly. See, he knows. He just said the post office is going to start them using electric vehicles. So that's going to ruin the service because they're always going to be in a line somewhere. Well, I guess they'll have their own charging stations if they do that. You have to. Anyway, Sally Cronabit. She was a character. She was 80 at least when we lived there, and she didn't want to pay any money for anything, and so there was a garbage disposal in the sink that was just, it was like probably 10 years past its prime, and it would get clogged all the time, wouldn't work, and she wouldn't replace it. No, she would not replace it. She would show up at the door with a, what do you call it, a plunger, toilet plunger. And she would lay down, and she wore dresses, no pants. And she would lay down in the floor in the kitchen. I don't know what. She was determined not to have to spend any money. Oh man, those were the days, right? Those were the innocent days before we had any idea what was going on in this world. Okay, so this is what I have to do today. I have a new tarp. I bought a tarp, and I got to go put a tarp over my manure because, if it's going to rain, it's just going to, I'm going to have the richest soil in that one spot. And so, you see, I couldn't get it dropped into the garden that day because of all the electric wire. So I have decided to open up the wire large enough for him to put that trailer and drop the next load right inside, right in the middle of the sweet potato area. And that way I can just pull a metal rake. By the way, my wish list is a really good metal rake, because the metal rake I brought here already had a sawed off handle. The handle was only 4 feet long. Yeah. And it was ancient. It came with the house in California, and there 25 years. So, but I brought it here, and the handle broke in half. Now I'm going to try to find it. That was a while ago. I'm going to try to find it. And I'm going to tape it back together and try to use it to spread that manure out. But anyway, that's on my wish list. A good metal rake that is made in the USA, if possible. And I also need a broad fork. Trying to find a good broad fork. The big thing I have to do before it rains is to get that whole big row of leaves up and get it ground up, and so that's going to be a hard job, and I've got to do that. I have to get that done. Thank you so much for being part of my journey here on the homestead, where I share my life with my cats and all the challenges and glory, beauty, and successes with my audience. If that's something that you think you would enjoy, please subscribe and tell a friend. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless. Okay. Phew. They're up here on the porch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28.